ratio analysis. I hope all of you must be self-sufficient. Can you all do it alone, or do you need any helping hand? What helping hand? You have an inherent aversion to Excel, so I don't think I can help you in that. So first and foremost, guys, couple of things. See, one thing I would strongly recommend you guys to do is the common size analysis. So the common size analysis, if you take, so here by here, so which should be the base here? There are some errors, so I need schools. So divided by which year? This year. And we should be locking, should we lock the cell or not?
Just F.
F should be locking. Divided by this. So here we should be locking J actually. How do you lock it? Just put a $sign before that. Do you know this? You must be knowing it. I think we have done it for the other assignment as well, right? And
So,
yes,
the base is usually supposed to be a relatively stable year, right? So,
not necessarily. I mean, it should be ideally. See, if that's the case, if you think that there is some amount of instability, then in the real world, what you're supposed to do is you should be repurposing it. You should repurpose by eliminating some of the non-recurring items. So that's what we call as a normalization. So often we do the normalization of financial statements first before we start with any ratio analysis. In your case, I'm leaving it to you. And I shouldn't be. So guys, you shouldn't be leaving the digits like this. I will penalize. 100% I will penalize. I will give you massive discounts, at least 20-30%. Okay, because that's one of the primary things you have to do when you do data analysis. You need to round it off. Data should be in readable format, so it must be rounded off to 2 digits. This is 2 digits, okay, and this is 1 digit. I hope you understand the difference. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Always you stop with the first digit, and then something terribly wrong. Okay, so there could be issues with some of the cells. Please ignore it. Now, so guys, right. Okay. So all you have to then do is you just need to track this. Guys, I told you, please watch out for this. When we drag it, you see that it will automatically take that 2021 and 20, because 20 we have locked. 20 we have locked. This H cells, the H row we have locked. Similarly, for the 2020 also that's the case. Then all you have to do is, okay, and if you want to put this in percentage, I would recommend you to put it in percentage. Okay. Now listen. Look into the data now. So, anything significantly different in this? So guys, the first one, have a look at it. In 2020 it was 100% because it's a base year, 13% increase, and then another 4% increase. So if you look at the absolute value also, you will see that. Then relatively the cost of goods sold has increased marginally, isn't it? Proportionally. So this you need to investigate. You need to go to the company's financial report and see what has costed. Now it is 2%. I can tell from my experience that is not significant, but still it's worth checking. Then, if you look into the other aspects, what are these figures which has gone down? R&D marginally go down 5%. Then other expenses. So the biggest change here is here. Acquisition, integration and separation cost. By the way, this company is DuPont. So what I do is, usually when I do financial statement analysis, I will be taking off this line item. This is what we call as often the restructuring cost. Okay, it is not a recurring expense. These are all one time, two time or three time, or say for a few years it might be there. So if you ask me, what I do is, see, first and foremost, I will repurpose the financial statements. How? For example, here I'll take away this thing completely because it's not a recurring cost. Then I will recalculate the net income based on that. Guys, are you with me? Then I will be doing all the ratio calculation. Most often you have to do adjustments on income statement, not on balance sheet. Rarely you will have to adjust the balance sheet. Mostly the adjustments has to be what we call as a normalization. Financial statement normalization is mostly applicable to the income statement.
So this is only when the base year is not stable. This is only when the base year is not stable. Otherwise,
What do you mean by the base year is not stable? Define it.
The changes are different, like it shifted from 0 to 100 to 0% back.
Nothing like that. Because what you said is it's hard to define it. So let's not go there. It is going to be incredibly difficult to figure it out what is said.
How do we recognize it?
How will you recognize it? There should be some scientific yardstick, right? Guys, Pratiksha, you want to get out of the class? Yes. What else? So my point is, you have to look into the line items and adjust accordingly. For example, this is more or less consistent. Okay, so restructuring and asset related charge, so that's a separate one. This is mostly related to the M&A. Then something which is, for example, suppose guys, if the interest here expense or say, guys, please look into it. Suppose if the amortization of intangible this year is say given as 10, then what I actually do is, I will take the average of previous years and change that 10 to whatever. Are you getting me? If you see any of these being significantly different, first and foremost you need to check. You need to check the financial report, including the notes, and see what has caused that particular line item to drop or increase. Secondly, what I do as part of the normalization, if any of these, for example, one of these, say cost of sale is significantly low, that could be a one-off thing. Then what I do is, I'll take this, average it out and keep that away. Then I will reconstruct the net income basically. Okay, guys, I want this to be there. Okay, normalization. If you, if it is something which is significantly different, you are supposed to do normalization. Then look at it. Now look at it, guys. Goodwill impairment charge. See, this has happened only in 2020. Do you know why it has happened in 2020? Why that would have happened there? Probably they wanted to, reduce the taxes basically. So that actually resulted in a negative net income or negative earnings before tax, and which so this provision for income taxes on continuing operation is 90. So let me have a look at it. Is it a, what is this figure, guys? This is very, very interesting. This entire row is, guys, please watch out. What is this figure? All these years, is it an expense or is it an expense? Provision for income taxes?
Yes.
It should be ideally an expense. Now, what you have to look is, please check if this is a tax refund. If it is a tax refund, what you should be doing? You should be eliminating it, because you are not going to have tax refund perpetually. Maybe for few years you will have. Guys, I hope all of you have studied the tax laws carry forward. Have you all? Tax laws carry forward. Haven't you studied tax laws carry forward? Yes or no, guys? What did you do in your financial reporting? It must be there. So tax laws carry forward means, guys, suppose in the year, say last year, if there was a loss of $100, and this year you have a gain of, or a net taxable income of $100, positive 100. Last year it was minus 100. There was a earnings before loss, the earnings before tax as a loss, and then this year earnings before tax EBITDA as a positive 100. So how much tax you should be paying this year? 0, because last year you incurred a loss which you can carry forward to this year. I will repeat, guys, please maintain silence. So last year, suppose the net loss is 100, and this year it is 300. When I say net loss, I mean the earnings before tax as a loss of 100, and this year EBT as positive 300. How much you should be your effective tax on what amount? It should be 200. 300 this year's EBT plus 300. Last year's tax loss you can carry forward, which means effectively your taxable income this year is 200. You all get that? This is what we call as a tax loss carry forward. So in US you can carry forward your tax for 3 years approximately, and there are different rules to it that I'm not getting into it. If it is a tax refund, guys, please listen. If it is a tax refund, then you should be adjusting it. Okay. Now, other things. Quickly, what are these? Basically, any of these items where you have a significant change, you should be looking forward. I mean, you should look for the reason for it. Okay, guys, look into this. Again, you need to have a look at it. You need to check the financial report for it. What I recommend you guys to do is, guys, please look into it. That provision for income tax, search throughout the document and see what is causing that. Now, can I have your attention, everyone? Guys, I said this before. If you are not interested, please leave. And this is something I should see on your equity research report. So here we have seen that in this something significantly different. The values are exorbitantly high. So that's something we have checked, and we have seen the notes that see company recorded so and so, tax adjustment resulted in so and so. Basically the reasoning has been given out. So this is something you need to note. Listen, in your equity research, what you have to do is, the moment you see something like this, you need to check in the financial report. You need to probably quote and say that this is the reason why you see an exorbitant figure for this line. That's how you need to say. And let me tell you something, you don't need to comment on everything. For example, if you are doing this is a trend analysis. When you do a trend analysis, guys, income statement is known as what? What else is the name of income statement? Statement of operations. Okay. SOP, statement of operations. Now, if in your trend analysis you see some change, nothing significant, then you can simply say that as well. That should be included in your report. That the cost and the sales are almost stable, or that's a kind of comment you need to make. If the sales are dropping, you need to reason it out. If the sales are increasing significantly, then also you need to reason it out. What could be the reason for sales to be higher? What could be the reason for sales to be higher? A new product launch, and there could be times when you might have done a special advertisement campaign or something, or maybe whatever. Okay, or maybe some joint ventures for sales. All those could be reasons for it.
So currently the changes that are made in the strategies for selling the product.
That's what I said. Okay. So again, similarly, you need to evaluate the cost as well. Guys, you should be either saying the cost and sales are relatively stable, increasing if it is increasing, reason why, decreasing, reason why. That's it. Then
For all the
see, the crux of the matter, you don't need to write pages. If you find, guys, you may be calculating all ratios, or you should be calculating all ratios. Now listen, in your Excel, you should be calculating all ratios. Now, if you are commenting about liquidity, you don't need to show those calculations in the Excel. In the Word document. In the report, you should simply mention the current ratio has changed from so and so, or the liquidity ratio has improved because the quick ratio has improved so and so, and this is the reason. Okay. Sometimes you may have to comment that the current ratio might have been it might be decreasing, but actually liquidity might be improving. Why? If it's less liquid items are being less, what will happen is your liquidity is actually improving, even though your current ratio is decreasing. So we'll have a look at the current ratio calculations. So the current ratio, what's the current ratio? Current assets by?
Current liabilities.
Is there anybody who doesn't know it? Where are the current assets divided by the current liabilities? This is one. Okay. Now guys, look at this ratio. Einstein, look at this ratio. This is a current ratio. Comment about the liquidity. Is the liquidity improved marginally or stable?
The liquidity improves.
What made you say that liquidity improved?
So we can
Because the value changed from 2.9 to 3. That's what I said. Don't do that. look into the numbers. Huh?
Marketable securities.
As was not there in the previous year.
Yeah.
This year, significant. Let me tell you, even before you calculate the quick ratio, the conclusion you need to give is, see, what has caused this ratio to be significant? I mean, the liquidity has improved significantly because look at the cash position, almost 100% has increased. Marketable securities again. So collectively, this is almost 5,000 compared to 2,000. Okay, so this is significant improvement. Now this is what I said. You may be, if you look at these numbers, guys, look. If you look at these numbers, 2.9 versus 3.02, not significantly different. But if you look into the factors which drive the ratio, it's basically those highly liquid ratios. Now let's have a look at the quick ratio. What's the quick ratio formula?
Cash.
Cash tax equivalence plus marketable securities plus accounts receivable.
Marketable securities plus
Accounts receivable. Divided by total current liabilities.
wow. Okay, see that. Now your point is right. Guys, now look into it. See the how the ratio is. Now when we calculate the quick ratio, we know it. Again, how will you guys? You need to evaluate the liquidity here. Simply looking into the numbers don't work. Look at it. What has caused a significant change? For two reasons. One is this.
Marketable securities and
Then
cash.
the liabilities, current liabilities. There is a almost how much change? What's the change? Around 25% has increased.
So, but why is our normal current asset ratio increase substantially?
Huh?
The current liabilities decrease and our current assets increase in the following year. Why is the increase substantial?
Investigate.
So,
You need to look in the report and see. There will be information.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you say this?
1 minute. Guys, 1 minute. Guys, now look into it. Guys, this is what I was mentioning. See, when I looked into the components, I have seen liabilities of discontinued operation. So that is more of a one-off thing. So this is significantly high. That's probably the reason why current liabilities have decreased significantly. So what I should be doing, I should be using, if I have the data for the previous year, I will take it to average, or else I will remove both of it, and now I will be I don't know whether you have done this, guys. You need to link all the totals like this. Okay. Now look into it. If I remove these two ratios, I mean these two, you see the current liabilities are the same. You see now how the entire thing changed. Okay. You need, that will give you a trend. Guys, I will always recommend you to do common size for to get the trend analysis. You must be. How much time will you take here? It will take how? No, don't tell me that. It won't take more than 5 minutes. Okay. How much? Including analysis, you can do it in 10 minutes time. You can do. You are much brilliant than me. Because 15 or 20 years down the line, when you are of my age, you will be a CEO. I'm still here at Christ University. That's the difference. Okay. So you are smarter than me. Okay, guys. Guys, 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 second. Guys, this is what I said. When you normalize your income statement or balance sheet, your perception might change completely. So you need to figure it out quite cautiously. Okay, that's a skill of guys. All of you would have learned these ratios, but your skill is to evaluate the real liquidity. Just an example. What we have done here is we have determined the real liquidity because those one-off liabilities will not be there consistently. Actually, the liquidity has increased or decreased. Liquidity has improved actually. At least from a quick ratio perspective, we are sure about it. Okay, any other thing? Okay, one more thing. I haven't completed. 1 second. If I remove these two, now if I remove these two, guys listen. So we have further adjusted because those assets of discontinued operations and liabilities of discontinued operation we have taken away. Now it's going to be calculated. Now this is a real one. Okay. Any questions? Yes.
So, like marketable securities, where does it go? They usually, it should go to cash and cash equivalents, right?
Well, what might have happened is the company might have liquidated. Guys, 1 minute. The company might have taken that off and settled long-term debt, or they might have done some acquisition or something. That's again, we will have to. This is 21. 2020s we will have to look and figure it out. Okay. So basically, your skill should be to figure it out what is causing those numbers to be different and the reason. That reasoning will get you marks. Guys, you are not going to get freebies for this exercise. You will not. Okay. This will be, I will take that extra pain to evaluate this assignment. It will be exactly how I will be grading a research report in real. That's how I'm going to do. Okay, don't expect an average of more than 9 or 10. Okay, yes. Any other questions? Huh?
Sir, can we even use comparative table analysis for making the equity issues?
You can.